Well, hello, my cellmates, I'll call you all. Come along and paint with me. Come along and paint with me. Okay, I have these colours pre-made up. I've done a few pours in these colours this week. These were all revert back. They were Mont paint, studio acrylics. You can get them in the US off Amazon. If you join me on my Acrylic Art by Julie Cube Facebook page, I can give you a link to the Amazon in the US that sells the 2-litre bottles, and you can certainly get them in Australia, and I have the link for my Australian supplier at the bottom of this video. If you just press the V, it's a drop down box, and I'll also have the pouring medium that I used for this particular art piece. So I've done my thing and I tape the bottom with the, got that in the paint, masking tape, and online supplier as well has all this stuff, very cheap, probably the cheapest that I can buy it for in Australia, so it's really good. I've put my push pins in. I'm not sure if the online supplier supplies those jumbo push pins. I get them from Officeworks in Australia, but you should get them from any stationery or office kind of supply place. So I just like tape in the bottom. It just keeps the nice and clean from the paint when you've all up and finished. You know, it keeps the bottom nice and clear. Keeps your bottom clean, so to speak. So that's that in the paint. I'm going to, the pouring medium I've used again for this will be in the recipe at the bottom, but it's the Elmer's glue and water pouring medium. Just add it to your paint until you get the consistency. This one is like pouring cream consistency. I know lots of people ask me about the consistency. It's like a pouring cream, so it's not too thin and not too thick. The very, very best silicone that I've used, all sorts and every single one, is this Australian made Elmer silicone. In the US I think you can get it for around $2. In Australia it's usually under $7. Australian supplier again on the bottom, but and you only need, like in this size cup, I only put between 2 and 4 drops, and I always stir it in really well every time. Don't believe in this just drop it in and stir once or twice, because that's when I've had silicone sitting on the top. When I make up my paints 24 hours before, then I don't have that problem. So okay, I am going to do a diagonal pour, and I'm going to use my Swifty swiper, my homemade Swifty swipe, which I'll show you as we go along. So I'm going to pour the paint on the diagonal and across like this. It just gives a completely different effect for the different way you layer the paint, and no time does it ever come out looking the same. So that's what's always really nice about these pours, because even though you may do exactly the same style or swipe, it doesn't turn out the same. It doesn't. So it's very, very nice. Okay, where was I going from here? Okay, I'm going to use this. So that was the purple. This is the brilliant red in the Mont. So really nice, bright and vibrant colours that actually keep their colour when they're dry. So that's a nice part too. So keeping this on the diagonal. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of experimenting this week and put up videos of experiments, and like don't feel as though I had any luck with my little experiments, but at least I did film them and I did put them up on my channel just to let you know that I have struggles too, because I think everybody thinks, oh, you just do it, it just comes naturally. But only with a lot of trials and error do I achieve good things too. So just wanted to let you guys see that. Now I'm just thinking, I'm actually going to put my turquoise. So you think, oh my goodness, what's she doing with the colours again? So this is the beautiful turquoise that I love, the Mont turquoise. It's a really nice shade, and I can often change this shade. If I want it to go deeper, I can add more blue, or a lighter, I'll go add some white. So I do like this to work with this turquoise, and you know, it goes in so many things, so many. Wowee. Now I've got a little bit of it's a bit of the metallic copper, and I've only got this bit left, and I'm going to put it in because I know it will absolutely look beautiful in there. And as you know anything about metallics, they often have to be made up a little bit thicker than the rest of your other paints, because they can tend to sink to the bottom of your work if you don't do them that little bit thicker. So you do thicker than some. Okay, that's got rid of those. Where am I? Okay, what have I got here? I've got a little bit of white that I'm going to add. It's just plain old white, which if you know any of my pours, I don't very often use white. I always seem to, you know, jazz it up. I'll put a bit of something in the white and not usually just use plain old white. I certainly don't use plain white or black for many swipes these days. Now, this is a little bit of, this is a dark navy that I mixed up myself. I'm only going to put a little bit in. Again, keep pouring on your diagonal, because this is going to be a diagonal swipe. Okay. Hi Karina, if you're watching. Karina, my daughter-in-law, she's an air hostess, and I think she probably gets bored sometimes when she's in other countries waiting for her next flight, and she watches my videos. So I'm going to say hi to Karina. Okay, I'm just tilting gently. It's alright, it's going a bit crazy here. I just still want to keep the diagonal, so I'm only going to tilt on the diagonal, if you get my gist. I'll just keep it. Sorry if it's going out of the frame a little bit, but I want to consider the painting more than the video. It's just tilting just slightly, just to get full coverage, get some of those paints to mix a bit. Now my son was here today, the one that's a fireman, and he was saying, believe it or not, that his girlfriend told me that he watches all of my videos and he's very proud. I think I've told you before, which is absolutely super, and I'm really happy about that. But he said that he watches, and he has a bet with his partner Karina. When I say I'm not going to put the torch on that, or I'm not going to balloon kiss that, and he has saying to every time, we know exactly what you're going to do when you say you're not going to do it. So I said, I'm predictably unpredictable. I mean, what is it? Predictably predictable. So you won't ever lose a bet on me for saying something that I'm not going to do, and then I end up doing it. But that's what I said. I'm the age I am, and I can do that now because I haven't got a boss telling me what I can and can't be doing, thankfully. So this is what anybody that takes this art journey, it's all about you. It's all about you, nobody else. Of course, unless you're doing a commission, and then that's stressful Doing commissions are quite stressful if somebody wants certain colours or a certain look, because you may be able to be certainly predictable when you're an artist and you're doing hills and features, but when you're doing abstract, it's different every time. So believe it or not, I want a little bit more of this turquoise. I love this. I'm going to do the diagonal swipe in. Can you guess what colour I'm going to swipe in, or have I already said it? I'm going to swipe in the bright yellow because it gives fantastic cells and effects over the purples and the turquoises. Absolutely super duper. Super duper. So, well, I've got this nice big pot of bright yellow and I'm going to use it. So we'll go from the diagonal right across. Oh. If that isn't quite enough, I will add some after. I will get my Swifty swipe. This is my homemade crude Swifty swipe. Actually, I'm a bit worried that this might be a bit well used now. If it is, I might have to swap it over. I need to make up some more pieces for this. I've got a different size there. Actually, I've got the smaller one too. My smaller Swifty swipe that I added on to my spatula. So we'll see how we go with this one. Probably for the smaller area I can use this, but I'm going to start here. I'm just going to do it nice and slow. I'm going to go with my Swifty swipe. Okay. Might use the smaller one to do those areas. So just taking it easy, just use your, I mean, you can make this Swifty swipe quite easily yourself. I'm going to use the smaller one to do the very edges on this diagonal pour, which it does excellent actually. And I just want to, before I go any further on the other side, I just want to see what my cells turn out like with this yellow swipe, because okay, here we go. So I just go over with my heat gun. I just want to see what my cells come out like. Okay. Delicious there, the deeper there. Because I'm just thinking, do I do a different colour to pour the other, to go through the other side, or do I keep it with the yellow? Might just try one thing. I just want to pour this navy just in this corner, just so I can just see what swiping with the navy would bring me. And I'll just try with, and this is what you can do when you can do anything you choose actually, whatever you think, just nice and easy, no stress, just relax. Okay, I probably put way too much navy on there. I'm just thinking that this might be nicer to add the navy on this side. Again, I will. Oh yes, okay, yep. Yep. I'm gonna go the navy. It's I mean, I've got some gorgeous cells coming up, but I'm going to do the navy on the other side, just because I can. Okay, let's give it a go. So this is a real dark navy that I mixed up with the a deep blue. Probably should have gone a bit further than that, shouldn't I? But never mind. I'll go on the other side. I make the navy. I've got a video out on custom colours. Oh, look at this. Oh, super duper. I've got a video that I've made some custom colours, so if you're interested, you search that video. I'll try and put a link in. Actually, I've learned how to do that now. The things you learn. To put a link in my video, under this video, and I should put it underneath, to making my custom colours, because every time I mention that it's a custom colours, I get asked for the video, and then one thing or another, I'm busy, I can't find it. But they're all there. If you go to my YouTube channel, that's just my channel, you will see and press on videos, then all my videos will come up. Okay, do I need to go back over that? I hope I don't ruin it, but it all should be all good. Should be all good. Ooh, look at that. Looky. Okay, I'm gonna use this little Swifty swipe for the edges. It's so nice to actually, I have to get my husband to make me. I've got an idea of how to make, I just haven't had time. I'm just busy with the pause. We've got a family, we were running a business. So try to fit everybody and everything in that I can, as we as women do. Try not to let anybody miss out on our time and attention. But you sometimes miss things. Okay, I'm going to give it a bit of a torch. I'll start with the thicker parts, which are obviously the centre of the paints. They always seem to lay thicker in the middle. Oh, look at those cells coming up. Oh my goodness. And it's actually quite nice to try two colour swipes, like a twin swipe. You give it a go and let me know how you go. Oh my goodness, the cells are going bonkers. They've got gorgeous cells. What I'm going to do is I'll give you a close-up. I'll take some photos of myself at this point, and then I'm going to go away and leave it for a good half an hour. And obviously, if you like the painting, doing a diagonal swipe, and you like it to this point, then do it and walk away from it. But of course, I really want to come back, and I want to use my balloon filled with water on this, and plus some balloon rolling. This won't be as prominent at all after it's left, because all the cells start to spread out, absorb, some of the paint absorbs into the canvas, and then that swipe colour ends up being sort of a bit of negative space around. But oh my goodness, some gorgeous cells in this. Look at these. And as I've said before, and I'll put them in the link underneath, there's a video I've got where I show you how to use your camera to take photographs if there's a cell area you love, because those photographs taken in high definition with your camera or a really good phone, the iPhones seem to do me pretty well. I get good prints off, so say there's an area there that you just love the cells, then take a close-up photo of it, send it to your printer and get a whole canvas or a poster, or you can sell those. It's all good. So I'll be back. Okay, we're back again. It's about I'm on about half an hour, I suppose, after I did the last. Now this is really spread out, and I can see by looking at it that my paint mix was obviously quite thin, because I wouldn't have got all these misshaped cells if it wasn't. They've all spread out and sort of gone their own merry way. Not that it is a big deal, because I'm going to balloon roll and kiss on here and manipulate the paint, so it doesn't matter too much. But I can see that the paint was on the thin side, so but there's nothing dramatic. You can still get your way out of this. So I'm just thinking that it still might be a little bit too early to do some balloon work, but ooh, that's nice. I'm going to do it anyway, see what we come up with. So oh yes, that looks gorgeous. My dog's decided to bark, so I think a few people say that when they watch the video and my dog barks, their dog barks too. So anyway, let's go for it. Ooh, very nice. Look at that red with the purple and the turquoise. Very beautiful. Do kind of a big roll through that yellow to, but as you can see, it's all collapsing back in, but it still will create some absolutely marvelous effects with this. So doing some real big sort of rolls over this one, some kind of S-y shapes, so it'll create its own little life in here. But yes, the paint is a bit on the thin side, so I think if you were going to do this, just do the paint a little, not thick, but I think I've added a little bit too much of the pouring medium maybe, and it's gone on the thin side, but nothing I can't work with, because this gives me more opportunity to be able to manipulate and roll, and it, as you see, it creates a whole little life all of its own by the rolls. So wow, look at that. That's lots of movement, lots of interest, some balloon kissing. As you can see, look, the paint, it gives a really nice effect, but because the paint is probably too wet to really, the balloon kissing, it's kind of falling all back in on itself. So ideally, even though I've done this rolling now, I could still afford to leave this maybe half an hour and then come back and see what I can get out of it, which I probably will do, but for the sake of showing you guys, just look at the lovely effects in that. Gorgeous, and actually more pronounced over the navy side again, but I'm happy with that. That's absolutely beautiful. That is a stunner. That's a stunner. Okay, I just used my ordinary balloon in that. I have got this water-filled one, but the paint is too wet which I just let the weight of the water. So I'm going to come back and do a bit more ballooning, but I think I've given you enough video to bore you to death, so I might not add the next bit. But look at that. I'll give you a close-up, and let me know if you would consider doing that diagonal swipe with the two colours. Just interesting to see anybody else's take on it and anybody else's opinion, but obviously I look for constructive criticism and kindness, not craziness. But oh wow, that is so beautiful, because you wouldn't even think that that's had any balloon work done on it. It's just turned out beautiful. So lots of movement. Where I did that balloon kiss, gorgeous. But I'm going to come back and actually do a little bit more when it's dry in an hour or so. But for now, I thank you all so much for watching me, and my videos, and thank you for following my art journey. Thanks so much for subscribing and for watching my channel, and the absolute fantastic positive feedback I have from you all. But there you go, look at this, so gorgeous, so vibrant. Okay, thank you, see you again next time.